All life, folks, has the right to exist, especially in and of its own environment, yeah? All of us, every one of us, every single living, breathing thing has a right to exist. And that statement includes the birds, the bees, the fishes in the seas. Even the trees, folks. Just take a look at this giant. Take a look at this old bugger. Take a look how it crashed down to the ground in the winds we had a few weeks ago and segmented itself, folks, into all these bits. And take a look at how it rotted from the inside out. I find it quite shocking that these things live for hundreds of years and then succumb in such a fucking horrible, tragic way, folks. Rotten from the inside out. Just take a look at this. Let me just get down carefully. Take a look at all these broken limbs here, folks. I'll try and keep the video as meaningful as possible, but just look here. Oh, that's the inner of this tree. Let's go around the other side. I'll have a walk around it. You can see all these bits from this once great and powerful being, because that's what it was. Yeah, no more important, no less important than the birds, the bees, the fishes, and the trees themselves, and you and me, folks. Because we all have a fucking part to play. We cannot exist or coexist without each other. We can't. Look at these breaks. There's even beauty in these breaks, you know. It's fascinating looking inside of these things. And each break is like a fingerprint. Each one a unique break. It's just terrible to see, though. You know, the beautiful grain. There's a little ecosystem of flies and insects going on inside that there. Bark bursting itself off, splitting itself. We've got all these moulds and funguses on these things. This tree, from what I've been told, is twice my age, and I'm 62. Yeah. Now look at this. Look at this. Devastating. And just so brittle now, like they've been frozen and shattered. Look down the centre of this thing here again, the beautiful patterns, the patternation of this lot. Patternation and fascination for it from me is, and this thing here is about 10 foot. I'm 6'2". You know, this thing's towering above me, so it shows you the size of this monster. This break here, this clean break here, folks, so this would just pull back together. See the rot set in here. All life has the right to exist, and in its own environment. That point must never be missed, folks. Look at this. I've got to be careful here that this thing doesn't continue to drop down on me. But we get into the cave structure of this thing here, folks, which looks mighty familiar as a cave. We're looking down the other end here. All this beautiful patination here. And the bark, how it segments itself. And then we'll get down to the, look how it's split here, right down the centre, folks. Trying my best to keep this as one video so it doesn't go off and I have to start filming again. Right, so that's my trousers splitting on a barbed wire fence, I think. No, it's not, it's the barbed wire itself. Look in here, I can climb in this, it's huge, folks. And this here, this bit here, this is the root system, yeah? Spanning itself out. Down, we'll see if we can get down here and film from below. There's bits of this tree everywhere here. Oh, so I'm over, I haven't fallen. Oh, look at that, folks. Wow. If we look from this end here, you can see how it's rotted from the ground up. And then we have all these spores or funguses, whatever they are, mushroomy looking things. And again, even in that shot there, there's beauty in that shot there. Even in death, this thing is beautiful. It didn't die ugly, folks. You know, when you look at it and look at the structure of this thing, it didn't die ugly. Although it is an ugly sight. But, you know, like I say, and I'll continue to say, all life, despite what these fuckers are trying to do to it, all life has right to exist, and the point to that must not, cannot ever be missed, folks. So I'll try and see if I can get over to this bit here without falling on my arse now. So here's a section of the root system that's snapped in the ground here. And these fungusy things, now part of the ecosystem, playing their part in the deconstruction and the recycling of this monster. So, and there's loads of other trees all around this village here that have succumbed this fate. But look at that explosion. But even in death, I find that beautiful, folks. You know, it's not undignified. Although I can't help thinking that something terrible befell that monster. I'll just go up here and have a look at this other piece of tree that's hanging down here. And you can see, if you look into these trees, you can see where limbs have fallen off. The farmers have removed them. And the wood vultures have come and collected them. See it here. I mean, you're recycling it, fair enough. But people don't tend not to see beyond the recycling the wood. They don't. I mean, look at the size of this fucking thing. Look at the size of this, and it's got to be 10 foot across there from the distance I am. So these root systems will spread out to God knows how far. But people tend not to see beyond the pile of wood that they can reclaim and use as fuel, folks. We've got birds in the tree. So, and we got these funguses along the bottom. These mushroomy things here. So I should imagine that this will eventually succumb to whatever is causing these things to drop. Now I know that they're spraying aluminium oxides that depletes the moisture in the trees through the uptake. When it gets into the ground, it gets into the water, and these things, the uptake of the water then causes them to dehydrate inside, so they feed on the moisture inside themselves. But what a fucking tragic end to such a monster that lived long enough to have told its tale, folks, through me, and I'm telling it now. Yeah, but I can only tell of its tragic demise, and I suspect it's through those chemical skies that this took place, folks. And all life is under threat when it should becoming even more abundant. The powerful shot there, folks, of this huge tree. It'll be chopped up at some point and disappear for good, but not from history, folks, because I've recorded it and captured it and time capsuled it for those yet to come to learn about what took place and how this damage that's been done can be overcome. Like I said, the right to life exists, and in the right environment, you know, a point to my argument must never be missed. I kid ye not.